let's start with the first scenario, in inbound. So to perform an inbound process of reflex or the Vault solution, we have 5 steps. First one, we are going to upload in the trunk, create those objects in the dock. Then we are going to transfer the products to the receiving station, perform a receiving station, the receiving, and then all those objects will be transferred to the buffer, waiting to be put away. This is the whole vision of the inbound process. This first step for us is uploading. Here we create this scenario. Imagine we have 3 docks. We already have some HD, some pallets already in those docks, in dock 2 and 3. And with this new trunk arrive, we are going to use the dock which is available. In this case, I'm going to say dock number 1. Like Andrew already said, to perform on this first step of process, we are supported by a shipping label. The shipping label is provided by the warehouse porter. When the truck arrives, the provide porter check if this supplier is expected in reflex for this day. If this is the case, he's going to provide to him this shipping label. The shipping label contains our receipt reference. The unique number in reflex will help us to link this trunk with the receiving expecting for this day. Okay. So now I'm going to connect to reflex to perform this first step of the process.
And I will act as the operator.
Like the operator.
Because I don't understand the reflex part. I understand this part.
Okay, well, again, let me introduce to you to the reflex interface. We created this environment for the POC session. When you are going to use your reflex version, you're going to start with a screen like this, asking for user and password. I create a login to connect to reflex. And here we are in the reflex interface. I have different menus. Allow me first one display configuration options. Because I have all the rights, I can access to configuration options. And I can display as well the functional menu. To this performance, I'm gonna go through the functional menu, go to mobile application. Here in the web screen, I can emulate any procedure that normally we perform via one handheld device, but it's always possible via the interface emulate those screens. And actually, for some process, we can use the procedure previous for handheld devices for handhelds. We can perform on those process via a desktop screen is needed. And it's what I'm gonna do for now. So here, when I go to outboard graphic mode, I have direct access to the mobile handheld application. He displayed to me some procedures that we already set in and we prepare for this presentation. One of them, or the first of them, is a loading process. We call like this for this presentation. We always can rename it and use the best name according to what we want to share with the operators. So now here I have the loading procedure. I'm going to connect to him. I'm really going to start the process in reflex. So again, I in the dock, the truck is just arrived. He already goes to the portal and he gives this shipping label. We have an example here. I'm not sure it's going to be the last version, but what is important to us is this document contains the receipt reference, and that helps us to connect to the receipt and what was expected in reflex this day.
Yeah.
Okay?
So I have a shipment label and there's a barcode on it. That's the reference, the receipt ID, and I just scan it.
Right?
And I just scan it.
No, that's right. No, it's okay. It's perfect. Well, the truth is now Reflex knows you are connected to this receive.
Okay.
The receive is already there. Actually, the operator can even go to the receive. I remind you, this procedure is imagined to have a touch
So you have
screen.
one receipt, yeah.
So imagine
Yeah.
Andre have an handheld in
Yeah.
hand with a small screen.
And I can see the details.
Exactly, and if you go to one receive, you can show the detail of the receive. The units who are expecting, the supplier, and the unit receive reference number, which the number in Reflex, and those other information who can be configured in the screen. This is an example.
Yeah, so the 24 units, for example, that's what we think we are going to be receiving, because that was in the interface. We don't know yet if that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now the operator, according to this process, need to link the receive to the dock. So here we prepare some barcodes representing docks. So now he's already connected to the receive, and now he's going to make the link between this receive and the dock that he chooses for it. So
Yeah.
now you can scan the dock, and that's it. Well, it's not mandatory to go the detail of the receive than we do before. But now when Andre link the receive to the dock, Reflex display again some general information of the receive. Again, this screen can be configured to display more or less detail actually.
Okay.
What could be important to us is maybe rename the supplier, and the number of units can help to the operator to know if everything looks right. Yes. What happened then is in our process, when we start to uploading, even if we have a receipt request and we imagine we order for iPhone, we order for some books, we imagine those products are in the pallet. At this moment of the process, we don't know in which pallet those items are, and actually if the receipt is complete. To do that, we need to open the pallet and to check each item if the order is matched with what we ordered.
Yeah, so what we did, I know that we have I just unloaded 2 pallets.
Yes.
Or roll cages, 2 handling devices.
Yeah,
But I don't know yet the content.
exactly. This, we're going to imagine to have 2 pallets. We know, based on the system, which the items are expected, but we don't know where they actually are, and if the order is actually complete. That's the reason why we create, at this step of the process, generic objects. We can call it temporary HD device. They are objects in Reflex, pallet, roll cage, something, but we don't know right now which items are really there. So we create this generic item, we call it Unload HD.
Yeah.
So the operator say, I have this one, but I don't know which one we have. For this example, we have only one kind of them, but we can imagine to have one for roll cage, one for pallets, in order to help the people in charge of docks, which kind of objects are there, how they're delivered.
Yeah, exactly.
So now the operator gonna scan the type of the HD device you have, the generic item you
Yeah,
have.
so you can search it, but you can also create barcodes for it. So this can be on
That's totally right.
somewhere practical, and then you just scan the ID.
Yes. And here, because it could be possible to have different kind of them, we are gonna only say we have one only kind of generic item. This one is Unload HD. Maybe for NC Go Live we only start with one, but during the process we are going probably to include the new type of those generic items.
Yeah.
And then when we do in the process is we duplicate those objects we have according to the number of the objects we really see or we really update.
Yeah. So now I know I'm going to receive a pallet, then I'm going to count. So I say 1, 2, and then I need to create 2 of them.
That's it. This example is for 2 pallets. You can imagine that we can receive 10, or when we talk about parcels, we have small objects. We can actually imagine generic item for those small parcel objects. And what happened now is 2 important things. Reflex is create those objects in the system. So we know coming from the supplier, we receive two objects, they are already there. We can even already know in our side that they receive a star, the truck arrived. This supplier is in the warehouse. And we are going to print labels based on those information. We call it the HD label.
Yeah, so let's print it. And we have one of two and two of two. So then I can link those two pallets. So I can say, okay, this is my first pallet and my second pallet. So at least I know how much pallets were in the shipment.
Exactly. So here we have two HD labels who represent the detail of the information we create in the system. It's kind of a proof that what was in the system.
Yeah, and actually I don't need this anymore because all the information that was on this, that is relevant for our system, is printed on the
New labels.
So we only need this to start the process.
That's right. Now we have those HD, and well, even if it's not too relevant for this presentation, it's also possible to look in Reflex the HD. Here I have some examples of our standard HD. And what is interesting is you can check the spool, the document generated. This one, or this example that we have here, is for several printers. It's one format we call CPL. And I have here a small emulator, yes, right here, but only to give you a feel or how this palette look like. However, we have a customization for this label in order to include new information. For example, we including the reference numbers. Here, for this example, we have 2 HD. So we say, in order to have an easy count of the number of pallets, we have 1 of T, 2 of 2.
Yeah.
And identify as well the HD type and the unique number object for Reflex. Now here we have number of objects who are unique and help us then to know how many objects we have and how many objects we need to move to the next steps of the process.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for this part?
I think I see on the document there a priority, which is not on the screen, but is that...
Customization, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're totally
One
right.
of the customizations is to include the number of must goes and could go, and also to calculate from that the priority of that. So we use the customization, which I think
Which is now in place.
Yeah, which is now in place in Focus.
Yeah.
This HD document is also for every unique parcel. So if you have like 75 parcels from a carrier, you need to print 75.
For the parcel delivery, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you say is that, yeah, so what you can do then is I have a number of parcels for DHL, for example, yeah. But eventually you even want to, so what we said, that's not the scope for now, but what we said during blueprinting, first you need to sort according to supplier, because this part is based on supplier, not at DHL, but the supplier that DHL is delivering for. So you first want to sort out, and then you want to print the documents according to the supplier, because you want to know for each supplier what was received.
If a supplier delivers like 3 parcels,
Then it will generate
1 or 3?
3. Because, and why do we do that? The reason behind that is because I have a document per handling device, being a parcel, pallet or roll case, I am able to process them individually. So the first parcel can go to receiving station 1, the second to 3, etc. And otherwise I would have needed to keep them together. Because then the receive is on supplier level, and now we can really do it on a lower level. Yeah. So this enables more flexibility in that part.